Finally, the sun came out, and to be honest, it was one of those moments when staying at home just isn't an option. So, Lola and I got ready right away and went for a walk. When we turned off the main street onto a small quiet road, I let Lola off the leash. It sounds like something normal now, but for me it's actually a pretty big step. Not long time ago, I was honestly scared to let her off. After one incident, I constantly had this fear that she would just run away. Even when everything seemed fine, that tension was still there. But step by step, we started working on it. I began training with her more, focusing on our connection, and now I'm slowly learning to trust her again. It doesn't happen overnight, but small steps are already making a difference. I was a bit late turning on the camera here, but I still decided to test something. I was curious what would Lola do if I suddenly ran away and hide. Spoiler, it didn't really work. Next, we moved on to training with distractions. Despite her small size, Lola does have some challenges. She reacts to birds, especially when they move. And of course, she really wants to chase them. Today was actually a perfect chance to work on that because there were ducks nearby. I let her notice them, that's important. Not just distracting her right away, but letting her actually see the trigger. Then I guided her attention back to me using treats. Every single time she looked at the ducks but chose to turn back to me, I praised her. And then at some point you could see the difference. She wasn't fixating on them as much anymore. She looked and then calmly come back to me. That's honestly a really good result. These small moments, that's what progress looks like. We stayed there for a bit, reinforced it, made sure everything was calm, and then moved on. But then we met my personal boss level, swans. Don't ask why, but I always feel like they're about to attack me. Even so, realistically, they probably don't care at all. But the feeling is still there. So at first, we just decided to go the other way. So I'll just put you like right there, and then me and Lola can train here. We continued our walk and tried to train a bit more, but at that point it got pretty busy. People, dogs, movement everywhere. Lola started getting distracted, and I could see her focus wasn't really there anymore. Another issue, she didn't really like the treats I brought, which definitely affects motivation. I tried working with her a bit longer, but eventually it became clear that this just wasn't the right moment. Sometimes it's just better to stop at the right time than to push too hard and ruin the mood. So I just put her back on the leash and we continued our walk. After a while, I decided to try walking past the swamp anyway. But a little further ahead, I saw a swampy area. And at that moment, I realized that's enough adventure for today. So we turned around and went back. A bit deeper in the forest, I decided to check if Lola was reconnecting with me again. Сидеть, ждать. Ко мне? Молодец. I called her and she responded right away. That was a really good sign. So I let her off the leash again, and from that point we just walked calmly without any tasks. Sometimes those moments are the best ones. When we left the forest, we headed straight home. By that point, we had already walked a little over 10,000 steps, a pretty active walk.
It's time to drink water. It's time to drink water. It's time to drink water.
At home, it's the usual routine, washing paws. And then, of course, taking a sunbath. But the day wasn't over yet. At about 6:30 p.m., we went out for a second walk. This time I wasn't alone, I was with my family. My dad decided to walk Lola, so he held the leash while I just walked ahead and enjoyed everything around me. Sometimes it's really nice just to walk and not thinking about anything. Look at how beautiful this is. Calm, quiet, and such a nice atmosphere. And of course, no walk without training.
Morning comes too early, hands already warm, working for a better day.
During the training, we ran into Lola's biggest trigger, another dog. And this is exactly the kind of situation where you don't want to make a mistake. I didn't have her on the leash, but letting her go in that moment wasn't an option. So I moved off to the side into the grass, created more distance and started working with her using trees. The goal was simple, let her notice the dog, but not react. It wasn't perfect, but we handled it. With a really beautiful sunset, we headed back home.
Oh Lord, hear me now.
At home, there was one more important part of the day, preparing Lola's dinner. She eats a natural diet based on a barf system. Today she had chicken breast, chicken gizzards, finely chopped, some carrot, 2 small chicken necks, 1 teaspoon of Greek yogurt, and also a really important part is a little bit of salmon oil. It all looks pretty nice until yeah, sometimes the day ends like this, but honestly it was still a really good day. In total we walked about 18,000 steps today.